Good morning and happy Sunday. It's your man Rev AG coming at you. Just celebrated 24 years of marriage with my wife on Thursday, and yesterday I celebrated my 47th birthday. So I'm excited about what God has done, what God is doing, and what God will do in the remaining days of my life. This morning I want to share with you on part two of the power of good leadership, and we're still in the series working through your wilderness. 2 weeks ago, I shared three principles concerning good leadership. And number one, good leadership consults God. Number two, good leadership delegates responsibility. And number three, good leadership gives credit where credit is due. This week, we're going to look at three additional principles of good leadership. Number one, good leadership listens to counsel. Number two, good leadership is willing to learn. And number three, good leadership is willing to change. These principles are extracted from Exodus chapter 18 when Jethro comes to visit his son in law Moses. The Bible says that after they gather and they talk about one another's welfare, the next day Moses rises early in the morning. And the Bible says that he sits to judge the people, and all of the people come to Moses for him to judge their matters and their situations. But Jethro observes this action of Moses, and he says to Moses, Moses, this thing that you're doing is not good. You're going to kill yourself, basically, he says. So he tells Moses, Moses, you need to find other people, men who are able, men who fear God, and men who have other qualities, that you may appoint them over hundreds and over thousands and over fifties, that you may ease the burden on yourself. So every good leader will listen to counsel. Moses takes his father-in-law's advice and he adds what we would call the judicial system, or the first level of judges. So if you're going to be a good leader, you must listen to counsel. And another thing to note, all the counsel may not always be of the same religious or spiritual persuasion that you are. And this is hard for some people to understand, but good sense does not necessarily have to be saved. Sometimes good sense is just knowing what the right thing is to do. Not only does Moses listen to good counsel, but Moses learns some things. And in his learning, he learns that if I put people in positions, that they can handle some things that are not necessarily so. And this brings to mind something that we need to learn and understand in the church today. I read an interesting article for my class, and it's titled Moving in the Right Circles by Jim Detmer. And what he says is that the church is identified by three different components. The church is identified as the community, the church is identified as the cause, and the church is also identified as the corporation. And if we would be able to embrace and understand the functioning of these three entities, we would see churches run much more smoothly. As the community, we function as a family. As the community, we're concerned about the weakest member, and we focus and function on love. As the cause, we focus as brothers in arms. Our main objective is not to love one another, but to commit to the cause of Christ, to charge the hill, to take that army out there, to win the lost, to rescue the captives. As cause, we're brothers in arms. Then the third part is the fact of corporation. Many people have a problem with the corporate side of the church, but we need to understand that the corporate side is extremely necessary. What good does it do to love one another? What good does it do to be about the business of winning souls if you don't have the resources to do so? So the corporate side takes care of the resources so that the community can commit to the cause of Christ. So Moses, he didn't necessarily learn those things, but those are some things that the church needs to learn today. The church needs to understand these things. And lastly, the final point of a good leader is that good leader is willing to change. Moses quickly implemented what it was that his father Jethro commanded him. And if we would do those things, consult folks, learn some things, and be willing to change, our pastors wouldn't burn out. Our congregations wouldn't become stale. People wouldn't die in churches, and people wouldn't feel wounded in the church, because they would understand that everyone isn't functioning or focusing on the same thing at the same time. Because as community, you think and function one way. As cause, you focus and function another way, and as corporation, you also focus and function totally different. So the power of good leadership: listen to counsel, learn to change. The second one was be willing to learn, and the third one is be willing to change. God bless you. Enjoy your day.